Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Cross Blades mod, which is being made by user Nero, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is a fun little selection of energy-based melee weapons, and I gotta admit, I've been having more fun with these than I thought I would, considering the fact I don't normally care much for melee in this game, but since they are energy-based, that actually did pique my interest with things such as the laser sword. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a laser sword? It's just fun. So let's take a look at what all we do get with this mod. So let's head to the weapons tab of our Pip-Boy and start with the oddest of them, the Crucible Blade, which is very demonic looking, as you can clearly see. Or, well, actually, I guess technically it's not demonic, it's Daedric, considering, well, you can pop some runes onto this thing, and it's clearly the Daedric runes from Elder Scrolls. So apparently some Dremora have invaded the Fallout world, and, well, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Now, as for its stats on this thing, in its most basic level, it'll do 12 physical damage and 11 electrical with a speed of medium and a weight of 5. And despite its horrifying look, it actually is pretty well detailed and overall just a fun, strange, creepy-looking blade. Now, the next one we have is the laser sword, which I think is my favorite of them in this mod because it feels the most at home here in the Fallout world. It does look like someone just took a laser rifle and made it into a blade, and I think that is pretty cool. All in all, looks quite nice, well detailed, well textured and modeled, and will do at its base level 22 electrical damage, medium speed, weight of 3. Now, as you can clearly see here, not as many modifications as with the Crucible Blade, but it has enough to, you know, up the damage, which is always important for a weapon mod. And then the next blade we have is the Plasma Katana, another very cool looking one here. Now this will do 10 physical damage and 11 electrical damage with medium speed and a weight of 3. Again, not a huge amount of modifications, but enough to make it usable for longer in the game. And then we have the final two weapons, which kinda go hand in hand, and that is the Plasma Throwing Knife, which on its own is already cool. I like throwing knives, and having them here in Fallout 4 makes me happy. They function the same as a grenade. They'll take up the grenade slot, and you throw them, but rather than going boom, they'll stick into things. Now, we have the unpowered version here, which only does 25 physical damage, but is still able to be thrown. Now, this is an energy weapon mod, so what you can do is take these unpowered ones and charge them with a plasma cartridge, and they'll do a lot more damage, with 40 physical now rather than just 25, and 50 energy-based damage, which is just wonderful. But of course, once you throw this thing, it loses its charge, and you pick it up in the world as unpowered. So that is the trade-off. You're gonna have to spend a lot of plasma cartridges to keep these things charged up to do the max damage, but you can at least retrieve them after being thrown to just have to charge them up later again, and it's interesting, but I actually really like that mechanic. Now, all of these weapons can actually be made at a chemistry station, but we're going to talk real quick about the laser sword and the plasma katana, as these two can actually be found out in the world. The laser sword will start appearing in the game at level 15, and you'll find it on gunners, railroad agents, as well as occasionally raiders, and of course vendors. So you will be able to find this out in the world somewhere and potentially have it used against you. And then the plasma katana will start showing up at around level 20, and again on gunners, railroad agents, not raiders though, and vendors, which is quite cool. The rest have to be made at a chemistry station, and so let's head in here and down to the X Crossblades category. And the Crucible Blade will take 16 bone, 16 crystal, and 6 nuclear material to make, and then you can have yourself a fun little Daedric blade. Good times. Now, the laser sword will require circuitry, crystal, nuclear materials, screws, and steel, as well as rank 1 in science. So pretty easy to make overall. It shouldn't take you too long to make one of your own. Same with the plasma katana, but this one will require rank 1 in blacksmithing as well, so it may take you a little bit longer to get your hands on one of these. Now, as for the throwing knives, we'll start with the unpowered, as this is what you need first. It'll make 3 at a time, but with circuitry, crystal, nuclear material, and steel, plus rank 2 in science and rank 1 in blacksmithing, you'll get those 3 plasma throwing knives that are unpowered, and then you can go to this one here to power them each with a 1-to-1 ratio of 1 throwing knife and 1 plasma cartridge, with rank 2 in science and rank 1 in blacksmith, and then you'll have the much more powerful version, which is just so much fun. I really do love these things. I still think the laser sword is my favorite of them, but the plasma throwing knife is definitely a very close second. So let's take a look at how these get, oh, actually, no, let's take a look at the modifications first, then we'll play around with them. God, I do love that sound. There we go. And to the weapon workbench. And the only blades that, of course, can be upgraded are the swords. So we'll take a look at the Crucible Blade here first. And the first thing we have is the hilt, where you can change it from one-handed to two-handed, which will give you better reach, but will make it a bit more slow. And as it says here, perfect for power armor. And again, who doesn't like a two-handed demonic blade? The next is the runes, and this is where you can enable those fun Daedric runes, which apparently give you better sighted accuracy. But let's just go ahead and upgrade those, because it has no requirements, and is just fun. The next is the effects, so if you want it to be the standard red or a green blade instead. And then we have the true power upgrades, and this is what changes the name up here from tier 1 being the standard demon edge to a tier 2, 3, or 4, making either the scorching edge, energized blade, or burning blade. All of which requiring a fair number of materials. Now this one is a bit interesting because, as you can see, holy crap, look at those. And it also needs the Crimva Tooth to actually be upgraded. So, but it'll do the most damage of any of the blades at that point. But yes, this is what will up the power tremendously. And then, of course, we have skins, so you can have the default a black and green, black and red, green, and red skin, just whichever you prefer. And like with all of Nero's mods, as you can see here, you can pick up 2K or 4K skin packs at his website. Now on to the next blade, we have the laser sword, which has the skin category here first, where we have default Institute, black, black blue, black red, orange, red, tan, and vault, all of which quite nice. And again, you can get increased resolution skin packs if you desire. And then as for its upgrades, again, we have the various tiers, but we also can change the color between the sort of standard red beam to a blue beam for each of the tier upgrades. So we have the basic, charged, overcharged, and overclocked. And this one, of course, will do the most damage for this blade at 44. So let's just go ahead and upgrade this one for testing later, because it's fun. And then onto the Plasma Katana, which on this one with the skins, again, we have the default Institute, black, orange, red, tan, vault, and white on this one. And then for the different tier upgrades, we have steel, plasma vein, plasma crystal sharpened, and plasma crystal sharpened tuned. And this one again, making it to the highest damage. All quite fun, and of course will, you know, help make the blade a lot more interesting. Now let's take a look at how each of these gets used, and of course we have my favorite, the laser one. Has that fun hum to the I guess, laser blade. And again, I really like the sound of when you pull it out. and then put it away. It's just cool. I really like that. But otherwise, it works as a standard weapon in the game. It'll work melee just like any other melee weapon. There we go. We can block, we can hit. All in all, pretty good. Now let's take a look at the Crucible Blade and get all demonic with things. Well, there we go. Very nice. And the blocking, and from the first-person view. Oh, look at those beautiful Daedric runes on there. You really gotta love that. I do very much enjoy the Elder Scrolls coming in here a bit. And then we have the Plasma Katana, which doesn't look like much when you're just standing here, but give it a few swings, and you start getting plasma particle trails as the blade gets infused with plasma, which is quite cool. It doesn't last long, as it disappears once you stop attacking, but all in all, very fun, and does light up a decent-sized area around you as you're swinging, which is quite cool. And then finally, zooming back in, we have the Throwing Blade. So this is the unpowered one. We just use it like a normal grenade, chuck it out there, and we can go and retrieve it. Now that is the unpowered, and right now I have 9 powered and 11 unpowered. So just to show you again that they do become unpowered after throwing them, we'll switch to the powered version. And chuck it. There we go. It gets the cool little plasma explosion. And now, as you can see there, it's an unpowered throwing knife. So let's pick that baby back up. And we're actually going to switch over to the laser sword because, well, I upgraded this one. And that means it's time to go testing over with Randy and Will. So I think Will's going to get a knife in the face. Hi, Will. I'm going to throw this at you. Let's see if I can actually hit him. Ooh, I missed. Throw it again. Got him a bit. I kind of got his back leg. Oh, and, well, they're in the ground now. So we can pick them up if you can find them, of course, because they are pretty small. Oh, no. Will, come back. Or, no, wait, no. Randy. Randy's running away. Oh, they both ran away. Well, time to finish off Will with the blade. And take this, dog. Wait, if I can actually hit you. There we go. He is on fire. And doing quite a bit of damage there. Nice. And we have disintegrated him. So yes, that is the Cross Blades mod. Oh, where'd Randy go? Yeah, I guess we won't be killing Randy today. That's unfortunate. He's our usual second target. But oh well, it's the Cross Blade mod here is pretty fun. I've definitely been enjoying it. I normally don't like melee, but something about these is very entertaining. I very much like having these energy weapons, especially the throwing blades. They are just a whole heck of a lot of fun to mess around with, and the fact that you do have to charge them up just interests me. I like having to do that. It makes sense in the world. So if you'd like to check out this mod for yourself, which I would definitely recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you all have enjoyed and that you do come back for the next episode when hopefully we'll be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one!